Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Six Figure Morning Show. We give you the best advice in the areas of business and life. Hey, man, a bunch of you guys came for me in the comments about that freaking 4% crap and leaving not having your money in the bank. I need you to fully understand, because it bothers me that some of you don't. I'm pretty much out of the system. I'm not in the system. I'm not playing the game. I'm doing things my own way, because if you stay playing by the system's rules, you're only going to get what the system allows you to have. I'm going to say it one more time. If you stay playing by the system's rules, you are only going to get what the system allows you to have. Somewhere in there, I don't care if it's financially, I don't care if it's physically, mentally, somewhere in there, you're going to have to break the rules. You're just going to have to do that. Look at every famous actor, every famous artist, musician, whatever you want to look at these people and realize, dive deep into their life and realize there was a major period of sacrifice to where they went against the societal norm and broke the rules. How many artists slept in their cars? How many actors slept in their cars before they became famous? That is breaking the rules. How many people freaking listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin's story, the wrestler, talking about eating beanie weenies and sleeping in his car and all this stuff? He broke the rules. He stepped out of the cycle of society, doing the rat race that everybody else is doing, and broke the rules to become who he was. So he stepped out, became who he was, or became who he is now, which is he's retired. He stepped out to become that man. And then he stepped back in and basically out real fast to retire. So you get what I'm saying? Like it just, you have to take a period. So when I'm telling you guys, I need you to fully understand this and being fully transparent. Obviously, you guys haven't seen my older stuff. I'm on child support. Okay? Child support levied my accounts. Child support has left me homeless twice. The second time with a 10-year-old son. I do not play by the system's rules. If I owned major real estate, this and that and all this crap, and was locked into the system, they would have levied those accounts. Once that happens to you one time, you cannot unsee it. Do you think the truck drivers over in Canada, whenever they froze their bank accounts, do you think they're trusting the system now? Do you think they're like, oh, I better not take my fucking money out of the bank because it's going to get 4% interest? Do you think those people are trusting the system? Guys, I mean, I don't know why you want to argue with me about that period at all. And so to you younger guys, listen. If you have a bunch of money, by all means, leave some of that money in the bank, especially if you're not using it, to let it draw the interest, by all means. 50 Cent is almost a billionaire. Do you think he doesn't have a duffel bag full of cash just sitting somewhere? Maybe more than that, just collecting dust in case something happens, that he can just go to a storage unit and grab up $50 million and say, all right, I'm out. What do you guys think? Do you think Tom Cruise doesn't have a safe just with, $10 million cash just sitting there? They have a base. They have a foundation. They're not getting their freaking paycheck and whatever you guys are doing. You're fine. You guys are not making sense financially. I'm not trying to get 4% returns. Okay, I'm trying to watch my money grow at a high rate of speed. Yes, it is possible. So young guys, please listen to me. You're going to have to do what I'm doing. You're going to have a period of sacrifice. For me, it was 4 years to get my money right. 4 years of my life I sacrificed to get my money right. And that money, no, it is not in the bank drawing fucking 4% interest. Sorry for cussing. It's just very annoying, the comments that I see. That money is not in the bank drawing 4% interest every 6 months or a year or whatever it is that they're giving me. Give them $10,000, you get back $400. When I could have took that $10,000, bought a $6,000 car, put $4,000 into it and sold it for $15,000. Probably not even paid taxes on it. You get what I'm saying? I'm just being honest, man. So you younger guys, man, the stuff I'm telling you, I hate that it's went this way. I'm not telling you wrong. And this is what I would tell my sons if they wanted to have a prosperous life and to actually grow. Once the system takes everything you have, you will never be able to unsee it, nor will you ever be able to trust it again. Ever. You call the police on me, we're done. I will never deal with you again in my life, kind of thing. That's just how I am. Once you put the system on me, we're done. Done. There's nothing else for me and you to do, period. And once that system, like I just said, do you think the Canadian truckers, do you think all these people that have had their accounts levied, have had everything taken from them, do you think they trust the damn system? The system is designed for poor people. Plain and simple. I can't be any more clear than that. So when you guys comment and argue with me in the comments about it, I know you're broke. I know you're broke 100% because I know what I'm doing, but you do what's best for you, man. You play it safe and you do what's best for you. If that's the route you want to go, then you take that route. But for me, that's not it. 4% returns, even 6% returns, that's good money if you have money. But if you're broke, that's retarded. So, I mean, I can't stress that enough. I can't be any more clear than that. That's a horrible investment. As if, you know, all you got is $30,000 and you're going to take that $30,000 and put it in the bank and wait for 4% returns. That's stupid. It's dumb. And the people that go, you're telling people to keep cash is dumb. No, you're dumb and you're broke. I would love to see your net worth. You're probably tied up in bullshit cars and everything. I would love to see it. I really would. I would love to see your personal financial statements. So yeah, feel free to keep arguing with me about it. I love it. Feed the algorithm, man. I mean, that shit's retarded. So anyways, man, starting my morning off rough. I got a great question in the comments from ATL Rich. Man, you're killing it. You got great questions. You got great typing skills. You know, the way you word this stuff is great. So, I mean, dude, like I said, go get that GED, man. You can do whatever you need to do. But he said, hey, Robert, I wanted to touch bases again and ask the question once again. I'm not big on history, biology, etc., and I haven't done much diligence nor completed school. But I'm wondering, do you believe history repeats itself? Very much so. History repeats itself for a reason. Are there deeper meanings to life and why most subordinate individuals won't become a sovereign? What are some steps and things you can take and would you do to break free from this cursed life of subordination for all humans of race? That's a hell of a question. How can we as individuals become sovereign and adapt in the new world and becoming as well as how can we remain, protect, and prosper? Okay. How can you, I got you. Becoming a new world and become well and remain, protect, and prosper in our kingdom of paradise once there. Hey, I get you, man. I get exactly what you're saying. For anybody that's not understanding the question, he is asking me basically, how can you break free from the system and still enjoy your life? And that goes with what I just said. So ATL Rich, man, to anybody else out there listening, I'm about 85% out of the system. Guys like me, we're the last outlaws. This is a sign of rebellion. I'm being honest with you. Micro, macro. This is a sign of rebellion. I went 4 years with no cell phone. Okay? No internet, no cell phone, no nothing. That's why if you look on all my personal stuff, everything starts in 2020. Was it 2020? No, everything starts in 2024. I'm sorry. I left it in 2020. I left it in 2019, right at COVID, and I freaking came back in 2024. So if you look on my personal stuff, you'll see that everything starts in 2024. I've only been back for this year. I mean, I just came back. So I'm trying to do the math in my head while I talk to you guys. So listen, man, this is the first sign of rebellion. Doing what I'm telling you to do is the first sign to you become a sovereign individual. But you need to understand, you're only going to be allowed to go so far out of the system. Only so far. And that's not saying you can't have a good life. That's not saying that at all. You can go start a landscaping company. You can go start, a foundation company, a roofing company. You can go start any of those types of businesses and become your own man. And you just need to pay your taxes and fly under the radar. Now, if you're making very low income, I wouldn't even worry with taxes. But if you're making enough income to actually sustain and support yourself and, feed your family if you have one, which at 23, I don't think you do. But if you want to own a home or any of that type of stuff, if you're trying to be out of the system, you don't really want to own a home. But there's ways to do it, man. It's so many. It's like I just told you about Steve Austin. He got out of the system, lived in a car, ate beanie weenies, became a professional wrestler, WWE, WWF, stepped back in. He now owns a ranch down in Texas. That man, I mean, outside of paying his taxes, he's pretty much out of the system. He's left alone. Yes, he's famous, but you have to have that. If you're trying to grow, you're a gladiator. Okay? Picture it like that. You're a freaking gladiator in the arena, in the financial arena, and you are fighting for your life. You're a slave right now. That's what puzzles me so much when I hear people talk about this stuff. We are all slaves. You are a financial slave right now at this moment. And right now you're in the arena and you're fighting for your financial life. That's what it is. And you have to win to break out of this system. You literally have to win. And the best way to win is to go dark, to self-educate, to sacrifice. Sacrifice in the beginning. Do like I did. Go live off of nothing for a few years. Take a job and save as much money as you possibly can. If you're looking for a way not to work, if you're looking for a way it's not going to happen. If that's the case, then man, you might as well just grab you some camping gear and walk off into the woods and break away from the system there and hope you don't starve. But if you're looking to still, hey, I still, like pretty girls. I still do like cars. I still do like these things. If you still like material items, then you're going to need to take a period of sacrifice. You're going to need to do exactly what I did, what many before me have done. I followed the playbook of these people. So for anybody to tell me I'm wrong in the comments, you're full of shit. I mean, you're just, guys, don't listen to them. They've obviously given up on their hopes and dreams and they're not going to make it. I'm just being honest with you. They do not have what it takes to make it because they're so wrapped up in the system. So I hope that makes sense about a period of sacrifice, man. I took 4 years of my life, sacrificed, lived off of nothing to stack cash. That's cash now allows me to gain 15% returns. I'm not investing in anything right now, to be fully transparent. Nothing. I don't like the market. It's all manipulated. I'm waiting on this election to be over. Once I see a little relief in housing, not interest, just housing, period. Because right now, societal norm makes these people think their shit houses are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars when they're not. I just don't see the value in it. So I'm back to stacking cash, man. I have no debt. I'm stacking cash. That's it. That's it. I use a credit card, and I use a credit card. I might rack up like $300 or something on it a month. I pay that right back off every month to keep my credit active. I have great job history, great employment history, a great resume, a great track record. Like I've done my fucking due diligence A to Z. So for anybody that ever comes in the comments and tells you guys I'm wrong, I'm not. I'm not wrong at all. I can't stress that enough. That shit pisses me off, man. So please, to you younger guys, this is stuff I teach my son. And my son will prosper. He will start this at a young age and he will be just fine. I started this at 32. Imagine what I'd have done if I knew this stuff, what I know now at 18, 16, 18. So do I believe history repeats itself? Hell yeah, it does. Especially if you're talking about it in an economical kind of way. Man, there's some books out there, some good economy books out there. But here, hey, I'll tell you, go pick up Principles by Ray Dalio, and you can pick up The Changing World Order. He breaks all this down, how everything is cyclical, how everything goes in cycles and works around that. He talks about different kingdoms. He talks about Egypt and Rome, and he talks about all these different things. So you need to go pick that up if you want to hear about history with finance. Ray Dalio is the founder of Bridgewater Corporation, Bridgewater being a hedge fund. He's a hedge fund manager, billionaire. And he talks about how everything is a cycle. So history always repeats itself. It sure does. 100%. I mean, we're on the verge of Civil War and World War III in 2025. Like, we're pushing towards that. And I keep saying 2025 because we're right there. So I'm going ahead. I don't do the new year, new me bullshit. I'm right there already. I'm projecting myself 2025. There's no point in wasting time. 2025 is right around the corner. I get through Christmas, bam, it's there. So I'm already thinking about what I'm doing in 2025, not what I'm doing for Christmas 2024. I'm looking at 2025. I'm thinking of 2030, guys. I'm that far out. I'm thinking of 2030. So that's what allows me to be able to do the things that I do and move the way that I move, because I'm projecting myself to 2030. You won't see this. You're going to see this whole thing change right here. Trust me, I got all kinds of ideas. Like, you're going to see a lot. And are there deeper meanings to life? For sure, man. Yeah. This can't be it. Okay. If there's a hell, this is probably it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, for sure, this can't be it. I believe all religions are true. Who am I to tell anybody that what they believe in or what they were raised by or what their grandfather taught them is wrong? Who the hell am I? Okay, I believe all of them are true. You're a Buddhist, you're freaking a Christian, you're whatever you are. Doesn't matter, Muslim, whatever. You know, the only reason a lot of us believe what we believe is because somebody taught you to believe it. If you'd have been born in Iraq, Afghanistan, you'd have been a Sunni, a Shiite, you'd have been a Muslim, you would have believed in Allah. You know, you would have went down that road. But you're born in Kentucky or Tennessee or somewhere, you're probably a heavy Christian, Southern Baptist, something like that. You know, you've been born maybe in London, you'd have been a Catholic. You know, you'd have been born wherever up north, you might be a Catholic, you know, so on. And you only believe what you believe because somebody taught you to believe it until you step out and gain your own worldview of what's going on. I have a very big worldview. I've been to multiple countries. I've lived in countries. I've spent that decade in the Army. I've been all around the United States. I was the only white guy on a tomato farm in Northern California. You understand? I was the only white kid in my neighborhood. So, I mean, I've been around so many different cultures, races, and religions that it's just, I'll never sit back. So, yeah, is there a bigger meaning to life? For sure. This ain't it. This ain't it. I think we're all spiritual beings that walk this earth, and that you all have a higher purpose. And I believe in vibrational energy and all these things. I believe that if you do right, right comes back around to you. Now, you got to be selective who you do right to. There's obviously scams out there. But yeah, man, yeah, the bigger meanings of life for sure. I don't have those answers for you. Nobody honestly does. If you're looking for a lot of things, you know, on that level, I'd probably tell you to go look into Scientology. I'd tell you to study religion, period. I'd tell you to study the teachings of Gandhi and just, there's so many, man. I'll tell you just start studying that so you can get at least a foundation of what's going on in life and the opinions and views of people way smarter than me in that subject. But to break free, and why don't other humans, why don't other people, yeah, you ask a hell of a question. What are some steps and things to take that will break free from this cursed life of subordination for all humans of race? And why don't others do this? Other people don't do this because they don't understand how to. They're scared to. I mean, I've met a million people along the way that are scared to step out from the comforts of the government. I'm so serious. So yeah, I mean that's it. That's to answer your question in a nutshell. And that's crazy because what you asked me was what I was going to talk about slowly this morning anyway, about breaking away from the system. But there's a lot of people out here that they cannot step away from the comforts of the government. They have to know that there's going to be a social security plan, that there's food stamps, there's this, which those are great programs for people. I mean, you know, they're abused a lot, but those are great programs for people that need them. I completely understand the need for this. You got to understand the government's a business, man. It's a business. So if you want to be sovereign and you want to step away from it, then become your own CEO. I can't be any more clear than that. So for the guys that argue with me in the comments, man, don't listen to those guys. I'm serious. Become your own bank, become your own CEO. Once you get enough cash, right now you're poor. To everybody out there, you're fucking broke. And you're telling me about leaving your money here and there and drawing interest. I mean, that right there, ATL Rich is not being sovereign. You're going to have to take a period of sacrifice and stack cash. That way you can start making calculated financial moves for yourself to get you to where you want to be. There is no possible way that you are going to become wealthy in a decent amount of time by leaving your money in the bank and allowing them. The only thing the bank does is provide security. It is not designed for you to win. And if the government steps in, the bank's loyalty is to the government, not to you. I'm going to say it one more time. The only thing the bank does for your money is provide security. It is not there for you to win. If the government decides to step in for some reason in your life, the bank's loyalty then becomes to the government and not to you. Everybody's loyalty is to the government and not to you. All these companies, all these banks, corporations, everything is to the government. If the government says, hey, we need to take ATL Rich's stuff, the bank's going to say, here it is. The bank's not going to fight for you. They're going to say, here it is, take it. I don't know why other people don't seem to understand this in the comments. It's happened to me. It's happened to a shit ton of people already. I mean, it's all over the news. Like, those stories aren't fake. It's all over the damn news. It's all over the world. People's safety deposit boxes getting taken and they can't get their money back. People traveling with $25,000 and they confiscate it saying it's whatever kind of money and they can't get it back. Guys, I don't make this shit up. It's out there, plain and simple, right there for you. So back again, man, you're going to have a major period of sacrifice to get, I don't care what you do. Let's just not even talk about money. If you want to be a professional athlete, you want to be a professional football player, there is going to be a few years of your life where you live broke, live poor, and do absolutely nothing but train. You want to be a professional boxer and become a heavyweight champion, there is going to be nothing that you do but train. Go look at Conor McGregor's story. Go look at Mike Tyson's story, Muhammad Ali's story. They lived poor and did nothing but train. Go watch fucking Rocky. Okay? He'd had a period. Somewhere you are going to sacrifice. So you got to, that's where you break the cycle. Most people are not willing to sacrifice. Most people are not willing to lose in the beginning. You're going to have to take a lot of losses. You're going to lose friends and family. They're not going to see your vision. You're going to be talked about. You're going to be told that you're dumb. You need to quit. Oh, it's cold outside. Don't go run. Guys, what are you talking about? But as long as you keep doing what everybody else is doing, you're going to keep getting what everybody else has got. You have to break the cycle somewhere in there, whether it's the financial cycle, the mental cycle, the physical cycle, the spiritual cycle. I don't care. Whatever your outcome is, you're going to have to start by breaking the beginning cycle. It's just going to have to happen. If you want to be a preacher, you're going to have to sacrifice your time and energy to study and learn the Bible or whatever religion you're trying to teach. So therefore, that is your period of sacrifice. Look at all the freaking priests. Look at what they sacrificed to be who they are. You have to, there is no way for you to move forward into the future, whatever success looks like for you, without a period of sacrifice. You cannot carry the old you and become a new you. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So if I want to become some form of an industry tycoon in the oil, railroad, sand, gravel, construction, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If I want to become some form of a tycoon and really run the show, me setting my money in the very beginning in the bank for a 4% interest is not going to get me there. It's not going to happen. Now, when I become that tycoon, I can circle back around and throw my money in the damn bank. I can hit the bank with 10 million and let it draw 4%. Why not? That's 400,000 a year. Why wouldn't I do that? That's great. But when you only got, come on, guys. Do I really need to keep that going? For the last time, if you want to move forward, this is ATL Rich is still talking about you or anybody else. If you want to move forward, you're going to have to let a lot go. A lot go. And what I'm doing is probably the last sign of rebellion that you can do in these countries. All right, we're headed towards a feudal system. We're headed towards, it's rich versus poor, poor versus rich. I believe that we're headed towards a lords and peasants type of society. Listen, this shit doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes people can't wrap their little brains around this stuff and they think it's going to happen tomorrow. If it happens tomorrow, we got problems. You got big problems. Shit really hit the fan. Money ain't going to save you. This is probably going to happen over the course of the next 30 years if things stay the way they're going. We're headed towards a feudal system. We're headed towards lords and peasants. You're going to get what you're given. You're going to be, I'm going to be 65 years old and I'm going to go down to the food store and cash my food bank check. And they're going to give me a whole bunch of food. Like, it won't be cash Social Security anymore. You're going to receive, food vouchers and this and that, and you're going to get your stuff out of a box and you're going to walk back to your little apartment with your box and all your crap, and that's what they're going to give you. And you're going to be able to tell the difference of rich and poor because the rich will be able to go to the grocery stores and get the things that they want. You can't tell it now. You can't tell it now. Rich people don't eat McDonald's, man. How many multimillionaires do you, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm sure that there's some idiots that do, because I've met some dumbass people with money. But when you really, really break it down and you look at the high level people, they're not eating that shit. They know it's fake dog food, man. You can't tell it now with the food they already give us, the things that they're already giving us. You can't tell that you can't tell the direction we're headed. Eventually, all your shit's going to come in a pack, and they're going to say, hey, here's your supply for the next, 90 days. And if you eat it all, look what they did to those people in China. Look at what they do in other countries. And you think that there'll be a big old revolt over here in the United States. But look what they did to those people over there. Locked them in their apartments and only allowed one person to come out to collect food and go back. You had to have reasons. You had to go through guards and gates. Look what that shit. Guys, you got to pay attention to everything. You got to see everything. And if you use the United States, if you're using that as a starting point, I would say it's more or less an ending point. United States is still a baby. So the things that we do over here, how do I want to say this? You need to look at places like Russia and China, the oldest countries, and what they're doing. Because that's the type of stuff that they try to push off on the United States. And so you'll know shit has hit the fan when it hits the fan here, because it's probably already trickled down from everywhere else. Either that, or we're just hitting the ripple effect and we're going to kick it off and send it back that way. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's buoyant. It's either verbal war going there, trickling down to here, and then that shit buoyant physical back there, or it's vice versa. And so you got to watch what's going on in the whole economy, the whole micro, small, macros, large. You got to watch what's going on in the world and what's happening. But to stay on topic, man, the only way for you to become sovereign and still live a comfortable, prosperous life is through a period of sacrifice. That's for anybody out there. Setting your money in the bank and drawing cheap interest is not going to get you there. You need to take a period of your life and stack cash, and then guys, whenever I tell you take a period of your life and stack cash, you're not just stacking cash. You're also learning. You're self-educating. It's like my man last night wants to be an electrician, or he wants to own an electrical company, and he wants to own a property development. He needs to take a period of his life to stack cash and figure out which one he's going to own. We're going to say that he's going to own an electrical company first. He takes a period of his life and stacks cash. The whole time he's stacking cash, he's learning what it takes to own an electrical company. He's getting that together mentally up here. He's educating himself. That way, once he's got enough cash, he can start to execute on getting the electrical company. He's not waiting till he gets the cash to start studying and then hope that the cash doesn't disappear. He's doing all that at once. Okay? You're working hard. 12, 15-hour days. You're doing physical 10-hour day labors, and then you're spending 5 hours a night studying and getting yourself properly prepared and planned for the future over the next 4 or 5 years. That's why I say most people quit. Most people can't make it, because most people can't hang on for 4 or 5 years. They can't see a vision and hold on to it for 4 or 5 years and see it through. So they quit. And that's why they don't make it. I didn't quit. That's why I'm able to sit here and tell you that I'm cash heavy. I got a great foundation. I'm ready to jump on any investment that I find that is going to get me to the next level. But right now, I'm not finding any. I'm not seeing any. So what am I doing? I'm still properly preparing. I'm still reading. I'm still educating. I'm still stacking cash. That was my period of sacrifice. And now I'm just in a waiting period. I'm in a holding period, but I'm not sitting on my hands doing nothing. I'm still going to work. I still got a great track record. I still got a great resume. I still got a great, I still got good bank, good cash. I'm just great. I'm just set all around. I'm just in a great position. So I'm just stacking cash. I still self-educate. I'm talking to you guys. I realize that if I want more, I got to do more. And that's what you're going to have to do. So if you want to thrive and prosper in this life, but still be out of the system, you're going to have a period of sacrifice. And then you're going to have this period. The sacrificial period is going to be hard work regardless. And then you're going to have a whole long career of hard work. And then you get to prosper. You're a gladiator in the arena fighting for your financial freedom. Start looking at it in that light. You're a gladiator in the arena fighting for your financial freedom. I want you to find another gladiator before you that's doing what you want to do, and I want you to follow in their footsteps and do what they did. Okay? If you can relate to Denzel Washington, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, if you can, you don't have to be an athlete, but if you can relate to any of these people, I want you to mimic what they did in their personal life and start implementing that into yours. I want you to get their sleep patterns, their work ethic. I want you to work out. I want you to educate yourself. Did Kobe Bryant have a bachelor's degree of business? Okay, then that's what I got to do. I'm just being honest. If you follow in these footsteps of these people, whatever it is, you follow in these footsteps, you will get what they got. It's no way. It's impossible not to. It's called the hero's journey. It's the hero's thread. Okay, it is the hero's thread. Bam, 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 bam. Where's it at? Joseph Campbell, the hero with 1,000 faces. Follow the hero's thread, guys. All right. Anyways, man, I hope that helped. You guys have a great freaking day. Do not be scared of this period of sacrifice. That is what is going to get you to your next level, which is most likely your first level is going to be a period of sacrifice. If you're not willing to do that, you're never going to get off the platform. You're always going to be stuck at level 1. Your first level, whether it's through education, financial, physical, doesn't matter. It's going to be sacrifice. And you're going to have more sacrifices along the way, but this first level is a period of sacrifice. So anyways, guys, I hope that helped. I hope that answers your questions. You guys have a great freaking day. I wish you the best. Don't do nothing stupid. Take care.